What's up guys, it's Ben here, and in this video, I want to share some insights into the pitching process that will help you close way more sales. Okay, so think of this. In sales, they say clarity is king. Clarity trumps persuasion. No pun intended, but Donald Trump did win. Anyway, random. Anyway, back to the point. Clarity, okay? There's one thing that will make a prospect buy, and that is when you bridge the gap between where they are and where they want to be in their mind. So, in other words, when they can see a clear path that leads them from point A to point B, that's when they buy, okay? So you have one shot at this in the entire call, okay? There's one shot where you explain and give them clarity. That is the pitch, right? So, how do you do it? Well, here's the thing. Most people have learned from sales trainers. That's a core problem that I would say, because you actually should be learning from copywriters. Why? So when I was a copywriter, I wrote in all kinds of different niches. And one of the things that I would do is I would just find random items, like a bag of almonds from Costco, and I would write a sales argument for it. In other words, a sales letter. And I would also take conflicting services. For example, I would sell Google Ads in one message, and then I would sell SEO in another thing. And these are basically polar opposites, and I could make an equally strong argument towards both. All right, so this is a core skill that you need to learn. And it's pretty deep, right? Because with copywriting, rather than selling one-to-one like in sales, it's really selling one-to-many, and you don't see the people, right? Like I'm talking to you, but I'm potentially talking to thousands of people, right? Now, that means you have to be able to communicate your ideas in a crystal clear fashion to people. That means you have to preempt and anticipate what their objections are going to be to the things that you're saying. That means that you have to communicate at a 5th grade reading level. In other words, you have to make your argument so simple that a 5-year-old can get it. Or like an 80-year-old, like your grandmother. If you can't explain that in as few words, as concisely and clearly as possible, you lose. You don't get the sale, and your copy doesn't convert. All right, so I always took this philosophy into selling. And this is one of the reasons why I'm able to go and sell any offer, because I understand how to position it in a way that makes the most amount of sense. It's simple, it's relatable, it's clear, and it's compelling. So this is what I would say to anyone. Study copywriting if you're going to get into high ticket sales or really selling anything. Now, the next piece of this is when you're a copywriter, what do you do first? Well, you research the market. You research all the things that they care about, all the things they're already trying to get the result and failing. You try to find a root cause that is causing all their problems related to whatever it is you're selling. So for example, when I was selling for a golf offer, I never even played golf before. I played golf like one time, and I didn't really know anything about golf. So I went to the library and I read up all the books that I could find on golf. I went to golf forums, I went to golf videos, and I asked my friends who play golf, and I was like, what are the biggest problems with golf, right? And so this company that I worked for, they were selling a lot of golf products, and they were spending something like 300 grand a month just on Google Ads. So it was a big company. And what I found was that one of the main problems that they had, which nobody else in the market was really addressing, was the idea of slices and hooks. Okay, and so I was like, okay, well, this seems to be a very big problem. Nobody else is really talking about it. And you can make the argument that if your golf is under, it sucks, you're underperforming, there's a really good chance that it's because you're slicing and you're hooking. In other words, when you hit the ball, it goes way off to the left or to the right instead of straight where you want it. And so the whole thing here is, if the problem that they're experiencing is they're not performing well in golf, and you say the root cause is, well, it's because you're not hitting the ball properly. You're not hitting it with a club face like dead on. You're like hitting it at a certain angle, which is causing these slices and hooks. Well, then it's really easy for somebody to go, oh yeah, that makes sense. Tell me more. How do you fix that? And then you just make the mechanism that fixes this root cause. That's the main sale. If they can buy into this mechanism, it makes sense. You can back it up. You have proof that it works. and it's clear, well, then the natural response is what? Cool, how do I buy it? And you just make a simple offer. Now, I take the same idea and I bring it to sales. And when you're writing a VSL, for example, a video sales letter, you start off with it's always the same structure, right? You have the problem that they're experiencing, the physical pain of it, the emotional pain, then you have the root cause problem of this. Why is this thing happening? And then what you do is you find the mechanism that solves it, and then you explain it, and then you go into the emotional benefits and the physical benefits, and then you make an offer. That's a VSL. And you also, within there, you explain why the other things that they're trying haven't worked. Okay, so this is what gets people that aha moment. They're like, oh, this is why I haven't been able to fix this problem. You've done a good job on a sales call when the people start getting excited. They're like, wow, I didn't even think of this. This is crazy. This is like what I've been looking for this whole time. And they start asking questions. You can hear them. They're leaning in. They're like hanging on your every word. You take this skill, you apply it to your pitch, and you'll notice that your closing rate is going to go sky high. I like to say, like, if you think about it, your pitch is the foundation of your business, not your offer, but your pitch, because you can have a really good offer, but a bad pitch, it makes it a bad offer. And you can have a really bad offer with a great pitch, and it makes it a great offer, really, because the pitch is what gets people to buy. Now, obviously, you should use this ethically. You should be selling good products that deliver on the results that you sell, right? That should be like a no-brainer. But at the end of the day, this is what you want to shoot for. You want to have your pitch so dialed in that even if you screw up the discovery, you can still close people. Like if you just put this pitch in front of the right person, they should go, oh, that's exactly what I need. How do I buy it? That's how you know you did a good job. Now, I'm not saying that the discovery and all the first parts of the call are not important, because they are. But there's a process that you can take people through where even if you screw up the whole discovery portion, you can still close people if you do this right. Okay, so I made videos on this before. I call it the MC3 method, right? Basically, you have M, which is momentum or motivation, okay? Motivation is getting people they're getting into pain. They're stretching the gap between where they are, where they want to be. Twisting the knife a bit, whatever you want to call it. There's that. But then the 3 C's are the 3 things that you need for them to buy. Number 1 is clarity. Number 2 is commitment. And then you got to close them, right? If you follow this process, you can close any sale, and it'll be a situation where people are like thanking you for letting them buy. That's the magic of actually learning how to sell this way. Now, to just kind of like put some examples to this, just to give you some just easy ones. So one of our clients, he's a real estate coach, okay? So I was sitting down with him and I was asking him questions. What makes your thing different? Why do you do it that way? Why do you do it this way? What do most people do to solve this problem? How do you solve it? Why is your method unique, right? Because when I originally brought him on as a client, I asked him, like, why should people work with you? And his answer was like, well, they need a mentor. I'm like, okay, that's maybe true, but it's a very weak reason for people to buy it. If that was your pitch, like, okay, guess what? 1 billion other people say that. But after a few minutes, once I understood his thought process, I was able to make a pitch within 2 seconds and just bang it off. And they're like, wow, that's like perfectly describing what I do. That was amazing, right? For example, like with this guy, he's like, okay, if you're a residential realtor, guess what? You got to sell so many houses and work your ass off to make money in real estate, right? Let's say that you make anywhere from 8 to 20K per sale. You want to make 200K per year, right? A good income for a realtor. How many houses is that? Well, you can do the math. It's anywhere from 10 to math's not exact science, but let's call it like 16 or 18, right? That's a lot of deals in a year. Not to mention, you got to go to open houses. You got to shake hands, kiss babies. You got to like suck up to people that really don't value you. Like everybody tries to like negotiate their realtor from 3% commissions down to like 2 or 1%. And you're really interchangeable between every other realtor, right? So I'm like, listen, if you're a realtor, yeah, I can show you how to get more listings in residential. But here's this other thing. If you got into commercial real estate, which is what my client focuses on, not only could you work way less and make more money, because instead of making 8 to 20K per sale, you can make a 6-figure paycheck from one deal. So literally, if you just added 2 more deals in commercial this next year, you can make an extra 250K if you do it right. Because the way that residential real estate works is you find a property, you get it listed, and somebody buys it. But with commercial, that's the worst way to do it. In fact, most people, if they were just list a property, let's say it's a $2 million commercial building, which is like average, if they got 2% of that, that's okay. But literally, you could actually go out and just find the buyer and make 6%. So you could do the math. What's 6% of 2 million? It's a lot, right? You can also wholesale the real estate, wholesale the commercial property, just like you can do in residential. Not many people know that. You can raise money and buy it yourself and make even more money. So there's all these different strategies that you can use to make so much more money. And it's cool because commercial has way less competition. You know, every city has like probably at least 1,000, if not more, realtors all trying to get the same business, versus a very, very small amount of people that actually go for commercial properties. There's way less restrictions, right? In residential real estate, you can't pay somebody a referral fee. You can slip it under the table, but like in commercial, it's different because there's no regulations around like protecting the homeowner. And in commercial, it's like you can make so much more money. Like, would you rather sell 10 houses a year or is like 1 property a year and make the same amount of money? And that's the pitch. Now, if you were a residential real estate agent and you heard that, would you be like, oh yeah, tell me more? Of course you would. Now, it all comes down to understanding the thought process behind my client in this case. And if you thought the same way as your clients and you're able to extract their IP, in other words, their intellectual property, like a copywriter, which is actually like my superpower, by the way, finding people's IP, right? And then you can clearly communicate that to the target market. If you do it right, they will want to work with you. They will buy your offer. They will get better results. This is a process that we are going to teach to you if you want to learn, you want to make more money in sales. We are creating a school community. It's going to be launching at the end of this month, which is November of 2024. It's going to be launching on the 28th. And for the first certain amount of people, eventually it's going to be $125 per month, which is still low ticket. But for the first 50 people, we're going to let you in for $50. So in this community, we're going to do role plays. We're going to completely overhaul your pitch. We're going to teach you how to handle objections, although you won't have any. We're going to teach you everything I know about sales and making it simple and not combative like most sales trainers teach. And we're going to work with you directly to just make sales a very smooth, effortless process where you have people going, thank you for letting me buy. And I'm going to show you how you can go onto any offer if you're a closer, learn the thought process that the owner has, and then basically download their brain into yours so that you can sell like them. And if you're a business owner, I'm going to show you how you can download your IP into your salespeople so that they can sell just like you, because when they think like you, they can sell like you. All right, this is the biggest problem I see in the high-tech industry as a whole. Nobody's teaching this. Nobody knows how to do this. In this community, we're going to be teaching you how to do this. So I don't have a waiting list yet, but if you're interested, shoot me a DM on Instagram, Ben W. Byrne, and I'll give you the details and we can go from there. All right. So with that said, I hope you learned something. Drop a comment if you have any questions, and make sure you like and subscribe this YouTube channel. I'm going to be dropping a ton more content. I'm on a race to hit 100 videos by early 2025, probably end of January. So wait, with that said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.